Thank you for starting your week with us. It's Monday, September 26th here in Korea. Live from Seoul, I'm Hyundai. The first parliamentary audit of the 20th National Assembly has opened, but it's mired in bipartisan wrangling already. The biggest sticking point this time is opposition party's decision to file a motion to dismiss President Park's choice for Agriculture Minister. Political correspondent Kim Young-gil is watching the audit for us.
A 20-day audit of government ministries and agencies has begun at the National Assembly, but lawmakers from the ruling Saenuri Party have not showed up for the first day. The ruling and opposition parties have been at odds since last Friday, after the opposition parties passed a motion to dismiss Kim Jae-soo, President Park's pick for Agriculture Minister. Kim, who took office earlier this month, has been under fire from opposition lawmakers over allegations of suspicious real estate trading and receiving a loan from a bank at an unusually low rate. Therefore, 12 parliamentary committees made up of only opposition party lawmakers will look into government agencies and state-run corporations on Monday. Unless the rival parties reach some kind of a compromise, the ruling party will continue to boycott the audit. The ruling party has accused the opposition parties of plotting to block all parliamentary affairs and go against President Park's administration. However, the opposition parties accuse the ruling party of neglecting its parliamentary duties. During the audit period, the National Assembly is expected to focus on the deployment of the U.S. anti-missile system THAAD and countermeasures since the powerful earthquakes that jolted southeastern Korea earlier this month. Kim Young-gil, ARIRANG News.
Unionized workers at Korea's top automaker Hyundai Motor have gone on strike after rejecting a compromise on a wage increase. Assembly lines were halted earlier this morning. The strike is seen as a move to pressure the company to put forward a new proposal following the latest negotiations last week. The full strike is the first of its kind in 12 years. The union held partial strikes 19 times during the wage negotiations, which the Hyundai claims cost it roughly $2 billion from the loss in production of over 100,000 cars. The union plans to strike for 6 hours every day this week, with the exception of days when there are negotiations. The two sides reached a tentative agreement last month to raise workers' monthly wages by about $50 and give a bonus of 350% of monthly pay and a separate cash bonus of roughly $3,000. But it was rejected by unionists, with nearly 80% voting against it. Seoul in the year 2040 is going to look a lot different than it does now, with a smaller and older population. The average household will also shrink in size, with one person or one couple households accounting for about 60% of the total population. That's according to a report by the Seoul Institute based on data collected from Statistics Korea and the Seoul government. The Korean capital's population is currently about 10 million, but that figure is expected to shrink to 9 million by 2040. The think tank says the continuing low birth rate, coupled with the rise in the number of households leaving the city due to exorbitant housing expenses, will push people out of Seoul. The report estimates the average age will stand at 52, a big difference given the average age in 2013 was 39. The wait is almost over. U.S. presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump will hold their first presidential debate in exactly 24 hours from now in New York. It's expected to be the most watched presidential debate in history that could even rival ratings seen during the Super Bowl. Kim Mo-gyun reports.
Aside from their separate meetings with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton and her Republican rival Donald Trump minimized their schedules ahead of the highly anticipated debate. The historical matchup will take place for 90 minutes from 9 p.m. at New York's Hofstra University. It will be moderated by NBC anchor Lester Holt, and the pre-announced topics are America's direction, achieving prosperity, and securing America. Clinton has 3 decades of experience in politics and a long history of high-profile debates. She stopped campaigning since last Wednesday and has been focusing on preparing for the debate. CBS News reports that her longtime aide Philippe Reines has been acting as Trump, attempting to mimic his unique debate style. On the other side of the podium, Donald Trump has been preparing while out on the campaign trail. He's been looking for Clinton's flaws in past debates with the help of Stephen Bannon, the CEO of the Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway, former New York Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, and others on his team. However, it's not known whether he had someone stand in for Clinton. The two candidates are neck and neck ahead of the debate. A poll released on Sunday by ABC News and Washington Post showed voters are split, with 46% for Clinton and 44% for Trump, well within the poll's 4.5 percentage point margin of error. Kim Mo-kyan, ARIRANG News.
China's Air Force has conducted a large-scale drill in the Western Pacific region, passing through a strait between Japanese islands. China's state-backed Xinhua news agency reports that the Air Force's fleet contained more than 40 bombers and fighter jets, including H-6K bombers and Su-30 fighters. The fleet conducted reconnaissance and early warning, attacks on sea surface targets, and in-flight refueling to test the Air Force's fighting capacity on the high seas. The latest drill, the second of its kind this month, is seen as a show of force against Japan amid heightened territorial disputes in the South and East China Seas. That does it for now. I'll be back with more headlines at 3 p.m. Korea time. See you then.